book of the month. Intellectual, and author really does a and welcome back to my channel. I am Brenda, and this is Reading by Myshelf. So today I wanted to do my February reading wrap-up and book haul. In the month of February, I read 3 books. I read a total of 1,533 pages. I read 1 5-star, 1 3-star, and 1 4-star. I read 2 fantasies and 1 thriller. So let's get into it. The first book that I read was The Darkness That Comes Before by R. Scott Baker.
Beings, there are sorcerers, there are, the religious sects, and then you have the heathens. It all culminates into this holy war. Baker really delivers a diverse and motley cast of characters that constantly shifts your loyalties and your animosities. The characters are complex and they are fully fleshed out.
This is a grimdark fantasy, a post-apocalyptic story in which you follow a cast of motley characters who are navigating and approaching holy war. This deals with religion, with magic. It is very dark and multifaceted, full of philosophical and speculative musings. The author really uses the limited POV perspectives to reveal each of the characters and their unique beliefs, traditions, and histories, and then alternately allowing for deeper understanding of the opposing characters through their biased perspectives. The motley cast of characters. Reading from each of these characters, you're constantly kind of shifting your loyalties and your animosities. The characters are complex. They are flawed and relatable. They are relatable intellectually and emotionally. Baker really does a great job giving you distinctive voices and really separating each character based on their classes and dialects, by their descriptions, their speech. It always sounds very organic and never forced, or as if you're being spoon-fed information. So this was a 5-star read for me. It is book 1 in a series, and I will certainly be continuing on soon. The next book I read was The Haunting of Maddie Clare by Simone St. James. This came in at 336 pages, and I gave it 3 stars. This is a story in which a team of ghost hunters takes on the ghost of a young girl. They bring in the main character, Sarah, as apparently the ghost does not like men. There is a romance and also a mystery. There was plenty of creepiness. The author really does a good job with mystery elements, kind of keeping you guessing. It wasn't one that I figured out from the get-go, which I enjoyed. And the romance was pretty well done. It wasn't overpowering. It actually added to the story instead of detracting from it. It wasn't one of my favorite books that she's written. I felt it was missing a bit of what her other books offered. So if you're interested in reading something from Simone St. James, I would recommend The Broken Girls or Silence from the Dead. Those were both 2 that I really enjoyed. She's really good at writing historical settings and offering kind of ominous and sinister, spooky elements to her story. They are all pretty suspenseful and charming in their own unique way. So I definitely think she's a great author. This one just wasn't a total hit for me. Lastly, I read The Rivener by Garrett Godsey, and just like The Darkness That Came Before, I do have a dedicated reading vlog.
It almost felt hypnotic at times. His role is very intriguing, and he kind of is only sprinkled throughout the story. I like that aspect, that mystery that kind of hangs on all the way up into the end, where you really get a better glimpse of Horatio's character. The story definitely deals with themes of addiction and loyalty, sustaining relationships, and the importance of relationships, familial and found family type relationships. Making up your mind or having your own agency. So what I found that that Godsey is really good at is this felt like almost like a love letter to some of the darker struggles of our youth and within the human mind in general. He tells this in a fashion that endearing and understandable to anyone.
For both of those books, The Rivener and The Darkness That Comes Before, so if you would like to go check those out, I will leave a card in the corner here. So yeah, this is Garrett Godsey's debut novel. It is fantasy and it comes in at 540 pages. I gave it a 4 stars. This is considered low fantasy or portal fantasy, as there is another realm or another world, alternate reality in this story, and it follows 2 main characters, a boy named Kid and a girl named Alice. It is very reminiscent of Alice in Wonderland and Stranger Things. Garrett Godsey really is great at kind of including little nods to well-known songs, books, movies, most of them from like the 80s and 90s era. So that was really fun to read, and he really is good at interweaving his wit and some comedy within. So it was fun to read some one-liners in here. He does a really great job at a intricate world building in both the real world setting and in the dream world setting. It was certainly unique and whimsical. I had a lot of fun reading this. I would highly recommend if any of those things are appealing to you. What else? He does deal with themes of addiction and independence, as well as loyalties and found family in here. So yeah, I had a really great time reading this, and I found it pretty hard to believe that this is his debut novel. So, The Rivener by Garrett Godsey. So next I want to talk about the books that I hauled in February. The first book that I hauled is Yulthine by Sam Middleton. This is a self-published book, and the author sent it to me to provide a honest review. I hope to get to this month coming up. This is a fantasy novel in which there are dwarves, elves, gnomes, and humans who dwell in a labyrinth of underground tunnels. And apparently there's an exorcist. There's a lot of political intrigue and war, and so I am super excited to get into this one. I will be sure to leave a picture up here and to put the link in the description below if you're interested in checking it out. Another book that I received this month I actually got from book, and that is The Women by Kristen Hanna. Kristen Hanna is the author of The Nightingale and several other historical fiction type books. I believe that this one is surrounding, a coming of age story focusing on the women who sacrificed during the Vietnam War. And this handles the war front and as well as at home. This book is about 468 pages. I have read quite a few historical fictions that took place during World War II, but I have not read many that took place during the Vietnam War, so I am very curious to see how this works for me. I know Kristen Hanna's writing is great, and it usually, and I am confident that she will do a great job in telling this tale, so I'm excited to get to this one. Next I have Looking Glass Sound by Catriona Ward. This was a haul from the Broken Binding. It has the painted edges, which are beautiful, and some really pretty end paper colors. This is only 338 pages. I believe it is a horror/thriller, and it deals with themes of, friendship and betrayal. It is based upon the twisty-turny tale of a serial killer and the friends whose lives are impacted by the horrible events that take place surrounding the murders. That's really all I know about this, but I'm excited to get to this one too. I mean, just look at that. It's beautiful. I also hauled The Rivener this month. I received it from the author, and I've already read it and talked about it. And the last book that I have to haul is Projections by S.E. Porter. I believe S.E. Porter is usually a YA author, but this is her delving into the adult fantasy genre, and it is about a girl, I believe, who is a witch. So it says, Catherine Bildstein pays the ultimate price when she rejects fledgling sorcerer Gus Farrow, but death isn't enough to free her. Her ghost remains stuck to her obsessed murderer, even as he turns his attention to girls who remind him of her. As Gus uses his magic to kill again and again, Catherine knows she must find a way to stop him and release her own trapped spirit in the process. So it looks really, really good, and I must admit that the cover is what drew me in. Hey, so I'm back. I made a liar out of myself, and I filmed this video thinking that I had all the books that I had ordered and would be coming in the month of February, but 2 more arrived today, and I just have to include them. They are both from The Broken Binding, and they are gorgeous. So let me show you. The first book is The Iron Crown by L.L. McCrae. This is the first book in the Dragon Spirits trilogy, I believe. This book is right around 450 pages. It's got the beautiful golden foil edges. It has the beautiful end papers with dragons. The hardcover is golden foiled, and it has like a fabric material. It's beautiful. This book it says Fenn's first and only memory is finding himself in the middle of a forest, face to face with a dragon spirit mocking him, all knowledge gone apart from his own name. Lost and confused, his only hope for answers is Caldera, a woman living on the edge of the world with her partner. Forced to return home when her father dies, Caldera has put off facing her estranged mother for 7 years, and she begrudgingly helps Fenn, forging papers for him so he can avoid the Queen's inquisitors. But her mother is the least of her worries when they discover an ancient enemy is rising again. It should be impossible with the Iron Crown in power, and Fenn is terrified he might unwittingly be playing a part in the war's resurgence. Surrounded by vengeful spirits and powerful magic, Fenn's desperate attempt to find his way home might well alter the fate of Tassar and every power in it. This is also a collector's edition, and it is numbered and signed by the author. Beautiful maps and other artwork. So one of the things I really enjoy about not only being a subscriber to the Broken Binding box, but also ordering their special editions is the fact that I end up with books that I probably would have never found otherwise because they weren't on my radar. And while I do love to buy books that are popular and have all the hype and are really exciting, I also find that these lesser known books are just as fun and as important for these authors to get the recognition. And what a better way to do that than through a subscription box where they create these beautiful special editions. So I'm just thankful to be a part of it and to share them here with you. Which brings me to the second book that I received, which is actually book number 2 in the Hanged God trilogy. We received book number 1 last month. And these are the painted edges, which are stunning. I am a sucker for a beautiful tree. And here's the front of the book. End pages. And to be honest, I know nothing other than this is book 2. I've already kind of read the synopsis of book 1, and this one just says, a giant lays dead in the halls of fates. Now let the word spread and open the gates. Very poetic and beautiful. So excited to get to this one eventually sometime. I will have to make a whole special bookshelf just for Broken Binding books in all their glory. So yeah, anyway, that's it. Now I hope and I believe this actually wraps up February. Yeah, so those are the books that I read this month and the books that I hauled. I would love to hear about what you've been reading, as well as any books that you have purchased recently or are looking forward to purchasing in the future. So please comment down below and let's chat. Like the video if you liked it, and subscribe if you want to see more. I post videos every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. So see you again soon.